So what do I have in my notary bag? First thing, I have my notary journal, and I use the Integrity Notary Journal. I love this kind for loan signing, it is perfect. I also have loose certificates for regular acknowledgement and to give oath, so a loose jurat. Then of course I need to have my notary stamp. I'm in California. Then I have a specific extra stamp here. It's when this specific verbiage is missing on an acknowledgement. This is a specific one for an oath. If it's not the proper California jurat, I can stamp this if I have enough room under the current jurat that does not have the proper verbiage. Talking of which, this stamp, it looks like that on a document. So exactly the California acknowledgement. I have more stamps. These two ones, it helps me to save time on acknowledgement because my name is quite long, so usually I can have either or depending on what is needed in the document. This is a reference if it's something that interests you. I also need this little ink pad. Of course, each notary needs one. Then if I have to write something or if my clients want to write a few things on it, they have notes, and you can see all these stickies. So I always carry stickies or post-it like this. Usually when I have time, I have stickies that are already prepared, CD, closing disclosure, impound, first pay, note, etc. So when I have time, I always put these little stickies on each of these documents so I can go in the order I like to present my documents. And I also have this extra one, just in case. I rarely use it, but if I looked at some documents I'm not familiar with, I always put it on if there's a specific section that needs to be initial or dated and it's not quite obvious. I of course need some blue pen to sign for loans. And just in case, I have black pen as well. It's mainly for general notary work on some specific documents form that you need to sign in black. Highlighter, I rarely use it, but just in case. Same thing for the Sharpie. I have clips to return the docs, to keep them together, different sizes, or I can just use the old school paper clip. What I like, however, is to use some envelopes. So I always carry some FedEx envelope or USPS or UPS envelopes, a few with me. The first thing is that I can protect my documents in my bag and make sure they do not get damaged. And also for the copy of signers, usually I leave them an envelope as well with the documents inside. And of course, I may need to ship some of these documents back to the escrow or to the title company. And I also use it under the paperwork to have the people sign it, because usually if their table is not really even, or if they have anything on their table, or if the pen would not write very well, so that's really helpful. And the last thing, a lot of time, I go to some houses where the table is dirty and I don't want to have any stain, any grease stain on my documents. Trust me, it happens a lot of time. I have usually the old school agenda. Sometimes I don't use it too much, but just in case I have it, and I like it as well because if we do not sign at a table, for example, if we're in a car, or sometimes people, they want you to sit in a couch and we do not have a little table, I pass the document on this so they have a hard surface to sign. I also have this binder. You see it comes from a doctor's office, but anyhow. So what I have in here, it's a lot of cheat sheets. So this one, for example, is a recession calendar. You always need to have one to make sure it's the correct date on the right to cancel document. And then a few other things like to help, for example, on some per diem. Sometimes the client do not understand exactly what it is. I don't really use it too much, but just in case I have it. Same thing for some PCOR. I have some form that I filled out with like John Doe, just in case if it helps client. Again, I do not really use it, but I have it just in case. Same thing for the trust certification. I have a specific one that has been filled out totally with John Doe, Jane Doe. This one I use it actually. So when signers fill this out, usually I always show it to them so it helps them. They kind of know that they just have to change the Jane and John Doe with their name, of course. So that's what I have in this little sleeve. I also have like a page that I show the signers at the end of each signing if they want to give me a review. I have business cards, of course, to provide at the end of each signing. After they're done signing, sometimes with the ink, people they don't like the feeling, so I give this to them so they can wash their hands. And I have napkins or paper towel to go with it. Also, when I sign at a Starbucks, for example, it helps me clean the table before the signing. This little card is from FedEx. If you do not have a printer in your car and you need to print some documents last minute, that's perfect. You scan this little code and you can upload the document on the cloud of FedEx and then just print it real quick. A mask, if people want you to wear a mask. Stapler. I rarely use it. Sometimes for general notary work, I may staple some document together, but usually never for loan signing. Tape just in case. And finally, I have a few rubber bands if I want to put the documents together, if I don't use a clip. And that's about it.